Joining me right now is the deep openweight champion, Roque Martinez. What's going on, Roque?
Yeah, how's it going? Good to be back. And not too much really. Just getting ready for the fight.
Now let's go back to that last fight, RIZIN 13, September. You took on the legend Mirko Crocop. The fight was stopped due to a cut. Were you frustrated? Was that the most frustrating moment of your career?
Man, it's definitely up there. Out of all the ways I thought I would, I envisioned the fight going, and I played it out in my head, and I was just thinking, there's no way I could lose to him. I don't think he can knock me out. I don't think he can beat me in the decision. The only thing I never thought of that could be done was, a doctor stoppage. So, yeah, definitely didn't sit well with me.
Yeah, that night was a weird night because there was a storm coming. They
Yeah,
reshuffled the bout order. The conspiracy theorists to me thought like, hey, they're trying to speed up these fights and get it done as quick as possible. So they found out a way to kind of, I don't know. It was
yeah,
a weird thing. It was a weird stoppage, man. Just in my opinion.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I kind of, in a way, I agree with you because I know they had to try and get the fans out of there by 8 o'clock before the train shut down. So, but it is what it is, I guess.
Let's talk about before the stoppage. Did you feel like you were doing well, before they ended that fight?
Yeah, man. I mean, up to that point, it was going just how we had planned it. Was to kind of just start out and get a feel for it. I kind of had a feeling that he would kind of gas because a couple of his fights before, I was seeing that he breathes heavy pretty early on, and it was just going exactly how we played it out. And um, you know, uh, 10, 15 seconds before I got caught, I looked to my corner and I was telling them I was warming up, and sure enough, man, I just came out with that elbow. I got cut, and but other than that, I felt like I was going to plan, and the plan was to eventually into that 10 minute round, kind of pick it up towards the end and just kind of take him to deep waters, and I felt like that's where I could really put it on, but the elbow came, and that was that.
Did you see his last fight? He just recently fought in Bellator.
Yeah, I got to watch it today.
What'd you
I didn't
think
have it.
about that?
Uh, Man, I was kind of like, I think he did a good job on his takedown defense, but I wasn't too impressed by either one of them, honestly. But he got the win. He upped his streak to 10, and which is pretty impressive. He's not gonna have a good fight every time, so it's. But I'm happy he won. You know.
You've been through a lot of adversity throughout your career. Looking back, what was the toughest, moments to overcome?
Man, I still think it's going back to my leg injury with multiple surgeries. Just because I wasn't sure if I was ever gonna fight again, if it's something that I could do, or how I would be able to come back off of that. So I definitely still think that's the most adversity I've had to overcome. And in a way, it made me stronger and the fighter I am today. So I'm grateful for it.
After that fight, you took a trip back to Washington State. Did you train out there, or was it more for recharging the batteries?
Yeah, I'd say it was more for recharging the batteries, and then also, I wanted to catch the Seahawks game. Well, actually, that was the number one reason. It actually started out with a joke with my friend, and we were talking, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'll see you next week," just joking, and then it came down to me checking out airfare, and then kind of looking at the schedule. I was like, "Oh shit, the last two Seahawks games are at home," and I was like, then I was just like, "Oh, let's go," and it's kind of funny you brought up the recharge thing because I felt like it did kind of reset me a little bit. But I was still working out while I was out there. I was just going to 24-hour fitness, and now I was still putting in a lot of work, hard work, but also I just kind of refreshed the mind. Took off from work, a little bit, and definitely recharged. Got hungry, and I actually got my confirmation for my deep title fight while I was out there. So yeah, a good short trip, man. I felt I needed it, and I feel good now.
The Seahawks, they overachieved this year, man. It's always good to have a team that overachieves, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, man, I thought they had a good shot in the playoffs, just matchup wise. I think they would have got past Dallas. They could have been a serious threat, but that's a young team, and they're gonna be dangerous. I think in the next couple years, so it should be
Yeah,
good.
yeah. There's no doubt about that. Now you mentioned that you did get confirmation on your next fight, Deep 88 on March 9th. You're defending your title against Ryo Sakai. You haven't defended your title for
Yeah, I haven't.
around 18 months. You haven't defended it, right? And because you're busy with RIZIN,
Yeah.
did you have doubts that you were ever gonna go back to Deep?
Not necessarily. I kind of had an idea that they'd probably want me to come back and defend it, and I didn't have a problem with that really. Um, Man, as you know, and I've been telling people, I want to fight as much as I can. Um, and for me, I think this is a good way to get back on track um, and also prove, like I can defend my belt too. I've defended my PXC belt a couple times, so I think looking back at it now, this will be my fifth time actually fighting with the title on the line. So I think that's good. It's good for your character and all that. Definitely.
Sakai, he's 8-8. He's won his last three. What is your breakdown of his skill set?
Man, I only seen one video of his. I actually know a couple. He he had fought a guy that I fought in Korea on Top FC. He lost to a guy that I beat. But then his last fight, he actually beat a guy who beat me in 2009, which was Yusuke Kawaguchi. And at the time, he was the deep megaton title holder. So I guess in a sense, it makes an interesting matchup. We got a couple common opponents, and he beat a guy who beat me. So other than that, I don't. I'm so confident going against him. I'm not underestimating him, but I'm just that confident in myself. So should be a good
Leading up
fight.
to a fight, preparing for a fight, are you the one that sits down and looks at the tape, or do you just let your coaches dissect it more?
Um, Not really, man. I'll look at the tape, and I try not to go too much off of like the tapes, because when the fight comes, you just never know what's gonna happen. Fights never go or don't always go as you expect. So I focus more on what I can do to the guy, and just go from there and trade as hard as I can, and I think the rest will speak for itself. I want to be able to do what I do as opposed to trying to see what he's gonna do and then go off of that. So I don't watch too much film, honestly. Like even against Crocop, I didn't watch too much. I already knew the guy, he likes to kick, and I knew at least to be aware of that and then do what I wanted to do.
In the last couple years, you've had a couple streaks kind of end uneventfully. How
Yeah.
has those two, uneventful, stoppages to your streaks advanced you mentally?
Man, they made me pretty hungry, man. Like anybody who knows me, I definitely don't like to lose at anything, really, fighting, whatever it comes to. Um, so the definitely the last loss, and then prior to that, I had the draw. I came back hungry. I really want to get back on a winning streak again, and not only that, I want to do it impressively, man. I feel like I still got a lot to prove to a lot of people. I just want to be a household name that people will know. I'll bring a show every time. So this fight, I'm looking to put on a really good show. Just not win, but I need to win decisively and impressively.
What does the rest of the year look like for you? Are you looking at a rematch with Crocop?
Man, I'd love to have the rematch if RIZIN ever offers it. I was hoping to get on their April card, so I'm just waiting to find out about that one. Of course, don't want to look past the March 9th matchup, but if I can get a turnaround fight right away in April, man, I'm all for it. I just really want to fight as much as I can. So we'll see. Yeah, like I said, hopefully right after in April we'll get going again. Quick turnaround.
Is there ever a off season for you? It seems like you're always training. You're always doing something.
Yeah. Man, for me, no off season, man. I love training. I kind of, it's just part of my lifestyle now. I feel like I have to train every day almost. When I don't have a fight, I still train twice a day a lot. Like I said, it's a lifestyle. It's something that that just keeps me going. Um, I love the challenge of training every day. Uh, yeah, I've been watching a lot of successful people, man, and they really put an emphasis on when you push yourself every day, like going to the gym early. You kind of set the tone for the day, and I apply that to work now. I just work hard early and then get the day going, and win the whole day, man. So I'm all about training now. I love it. No
Don't
off
you
season.
train at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. every day?
Yeah, yeah, 5 a.m. every day. I wake up like around 4:30, get ready, go to the gym at 5. But like I said, man, it's just that challenge alone. It's like a battle. My battle starts every morning with the alarm clock, It's like, oh, here we go, And when I turn off the snooze button, I get up and I start getting ready for I already won that part. So it's like you keep that momentum going and it just sets up for the rest of the day. I truly believe in that.
One last thing before I let you go. You train in the morning early. What is in your earphones? What is in your headphones? What's on your playlist? Right now, currently, what artists are you listening to get yourself, pumped, get yourself ready for the day?
Man, to be honest, I listen to a lot of music. But lately I've been listening to a lot of like I was saying, motivational speakers. Um, Eric Thomas. I've really been into like David Goggins. Their stuff's just really it's stuff that I take away from and I learn like a lot actually recently, and man, it's just it's taken everything to the next level for me. Um, as far as my performance is going and training, everything to my mood. Like, man, I'm just happier now. I'm a harder worker. Just so I really like those motivational things, man, and it's pretty cool just listening to people who have that level of success. And just I think constantly putting it in your head, it's good for you, So yeah, I'd say that's probably been my biggest play or most of my playlist lately is just like motivational speakers and real successful people. I myself want to be successful too, so it's good to listen to those people.
All right,
Yeah.
man. March 9th, Deep 88. You'll be defending your megaton title. Thank you for your time, Roki, and good luck on your next fight.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it for having me again. And hopefully we'll get one soon, man. Another fight and get back on here. But yeah, thanks for having me.